Alrighty guys, so welcome back to my channel today, and we are doing a brand new Sims 4 video today. And so today is part 1 of 3 of a tutorial series on how I make my stuff in The Sims and Photoshop. And so part 1 is how I make my Sims, part 2 will be on how I set a scene with the perfect lighting and so on and so forth. Part 3 will be on how I edit that screenshot in Photoshop. So hopefully today you will learn some stuff you'll learn some things in this video and apply it to your own Sims and some other things as well. And so I will be recommending you guys to some custom content creators that I use on the daily, stuff I use on my Sims, and all the other fun stuff as well. So hopefully you guys will sit back and relax and enjoy the video. So anyway, let's hop right in. So what I usually do first and foremost when I go into create a Sim is I always randomize the Sim at least 4 or 5 times, more or less. It all depends on what I'm technically looking for, because I always have a backstory in mind for a Sim, and I always choose like their characteristics, their personalities, what I'm looking for, and how I want them to look. And so I kind of go off on that, and that's just me personally. I always pick a storyline for my Sim, and yeah, that's just me. So whenever I have my Sim randomized, I always go to the faces right here. I always go down the line all the time. Like I go to like the forehead, the cheeks, and the nose, and the mouth, and the chin, and the jawline, and the ears, and the eyes. And I kind of go through each and every category to customize the Sim to my liking, the way I want them to look, and how I want them to portray into that storyline that I have created. And this really helps me to really broaden my Sim creation skills on making different Sims every now and then. And I think if you have like a storyline in mind and you have some type of personality to a Sim that you want to create, it helps me to create different Sims. And so I always tend to use like, I go down the line through skin tones on what I'm looking for, and I always go through all of them, but I do have custom content skin tones already installed. But I definitely recommend, if you want darker skin tones, I recommend Mirror's Milan Pack skin tone off of her Tumblr. She literally has the best skin tones for darker Sims, and it's freaking phenomenal, and I love it a lot, and I definitely recommend checking her out. She's pretty cool, a good friend of mine, and she's awesome, so definitely check her out. But like I said, she has some good skin tones, like real good skin tones. Like it's honestly perfect all the way, perfect on fleek. Yes, and it's lit. So anyway, like I said, it's a pretty cool pack. Check it out, link down below. So for the skin tone that I technically always somewhat use is either that in between the skin tone, like either like between the lighter skin tone and the darker skin tone. So I always like tend to use this one right here, or I tend to use this one right here. But for this tutorial, I'll use this one because it looks nice. And so for the skin details, I have a lot of skin details in my game already, and I tend to go back and forth, and I forget which like category they are in, because sometimes it's either for like the whole entire body, or the whole entire face, or the nose, or the eyes, or the mouth. There's a lot of like skin details that can change your Sims better or for worse, and it just depends on which section they are in. And so I want to use, for the skin detail that I usually technically always use, is this one right here. And the only reason why I like it is because I like the second option to the skin tone, because the skin detail is because it has a sense of a glow to it, and it makes your Sim a little bit more brighter, I guess you would say, and it looks pretty cool to me. But the second skin tone that I always somewhat use is a skin tone by Miss Blue, and she has like at least, I think, 2 different versions of the same skin tone, but a different style. And I technically use hers as well, but I've sort of not used it as much, but I do technically use it most of the time when I'm making like an alpha-fied Sim, if that makes any sense. But I technically use this one the most. But I have been loving this one right here, and I can't pronounce the name to save my life at all. But they are pretty good CC content creator, and they're pretty good at what they do, and I definitely recommend them checking them out. But I technically only use like at least 3 skin tones, and I just go around. Yeah, that's what I technically do. I kind of just pick what I'm looking for throughout skin tones, what I'm looking for. I play around, okay? I play around with skin tones and skin details on what I'm looking for. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but you know, that's just me. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna use this one right here, and then when I go down the line for something else that I'm looking for is that I technically always use like an eye bag from Tamo, and I always use these eye bags all the time because they're my favorite ones to use mostly, and so I technically recommend using those. But I'm going to switch the skin tone a little bit to what I'm looking for, and so I'm going to use this one right here because it looks kind of nice. I do like it. And so whenever like I'm choosing like a different part of like a category to for the skin details, I technically go back to like the whole body skin detail to see what looks good, what doesn't look good, how can I change it, what can I choose. And what I like about the skin details is that sometimes custom content creators have like different like what's it called, not presets, like different like type of like, I don't know what you call it, they have different things. And the eyelashes that I always use is by Kaijoko. I don't know how to pronounce the name to save my life, but they are literally the best 3D eyelashes I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, I think that everyone should use these. Like, if you have not downloaded them already, where have you been? Like, they are the best eyelashes ever. They make your Sims eyes pop for the better. So like I said, they are pretty good. And so I use those eyelashes all the time. I use them in the skin details, and also they are available in the accessory category as well. And so I technically use both of them if I want to have fuller lashes or less lashes. Again, it depends. And so after I use like the eyelashes I want, I always technically somewhat use like freckles if I want to use them, or some hairlines for some edges to make them look fleekish or looking good, So I technically use that, or I just kind of use different hairlines, and I kind of like the ones that I use. And I use this one by Pixelor off of their Tumblr, and I've been using them a lot, and I really do like their hair edges, and they look really, really cool, and they're my favorite. So, and again, when I ever like kind of use like when I use these eyelashes, it got rid of the eye bags on here because I guess they're technically part of this like set right here, so they kind of went away, and so I go back down to Tamo eye bags, and I kind of go with that one right there. And after I do that, I technically use more freckles because freckles are pretty cool, and they're my favorite. And then I use a nose mask to have my sim have more of a defined nose, and I use this one right here. It's number 6 in the category, or I kind of use whatever I'm looking for. I just kind of go down the line. Again, I go down the line which I'm looking for, and I see what I like. I'm trying to look for the one I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for. Oh no. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. And then after I use like my skin nose mask, I tend to use a little bit of a contour to make my Sims cheekbones a little bit more defined, I guess you would say. And I use this from SpringSims, and then I use more freckles again. The more freckles, the better. And then after that, I just use more freckles because they just look nice to me, and I like them. They're my favorite. And so after that, yeah, looks good. I like it. And so since she is looking already great, after I do all that necessary stuff, is I go into the eyebrows, because I do technically use a lot of eyebrows. And the majority of my eyebrows, all of my eyebrows except this one right here, are pretty much from all Praline Sims off of TSR, the Sims resource. And I have a lot of her, I don't know if it's a him or her, but I technically use their Max's Match eyebrows the most because they are a little bit more of my liking. But I always sometimes use their alpha, air quotes alpha eyebrows as well. I don't know, they just kind of look cool I don't know, they just look cool to me. But I do technically use this one. It's number 21. So if you go for TSR, check number 21 in the eyebrow section area. But it's gonna be linked down below. And what color I always use is black, because black goes as everything, okay? That's what the saying is, black goes as everything, and it's what I kind of like, okay, it's just me. And so I kind of play around with the area, the sizing of my eyebrows to make them look a little bit more, I guess you would say, just to my liking. And so I just kind of push up the eyebrows a little bit more, and then I go back out, and I don't really technically use like again, I don't really use the templates for like the head shape, the eyebrows, the nose. I don't really technically use all of that just because it's not what I'm technically looking for. And so I'm basically molding with clay. And that's technically what The Sims 4 is kind of like to me, where you're playing with clay and you're just like molding it to your liking. And that's what I like. It says all smooth, all cool, all clean and cut. But for the sake of this one, for the nose I use number 5. I don't know why, but I always use number 5 or this one right here, or I just use a lot of different noses, and I like number 5. It's my favorite one to use, and I technically move out the bridge of the nose right here to push it out a little bit more, and just kind of do that, and the nostrils a little bit more inner, a little more outer, so you can breathe. And then I give her a little bit more of a nice little tone of a nose tip. And for the cheeks, I just push them down. It takes me about like 30 minutes to make one sim, and that's kind of a problem, but again, it depends on the sim that I'm making, and I don't know, it just takes me 30 minutes to make one sim. And for the males, it takes me about 15 minutes, but now it's taking me a little bit longer to make a male sim because I'm getting a little bit more detailed into my sim creations, and so that's what I kind of looking forward to. I don't know what's wrong with her face. Maybe it's her eyes. Her eyes are a little bit more different. So yeah, going off on the eye section is I always somewhat use is her chin's a problem. Oh gosh, it's a problem. Okay, so her lips is 2. Oh yeah, her lips. Next is I use lips is I use this one right here. It's again number 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 7, and I use that one the most. And I push out the upper lip a little bit more, and then the bottom lip is push it down and outward and a little bit more inward. Just again, it all depends, and I play around to what I'm looking for in the yeah. And so for the jawline, I push it up and I push it a little bit more out, and I go a little bit out, a little bit more in. It's kind of just again molding clay, just playing with clay. And I don't know, I have these pixie ears installed. There we go. Oh, that's better. Okay, there we go. And so that's what I technically kind of do, and I push the ears a little bit back, push the cheekbones a little bit back out, a little bit more flatter, and I think that should be good for the sim that I'm kind of looking for the sake of this tutorial. Earlobes a little bit more down, and the whole face is a little bit more down. So if you're trying to figure out how to basically push down the entire face, is you can either go into detailed mode or out of detailed mode to push the entire face down. But if you go out of detailed mode, you can actually customize the whole entire, like literally molding the clay, and that is not what I wanted to do, but you can definitely do that if you wanted to. So I'm gonna push out her jaw a little bit more, her chin out a little bit more, and push her nose up a little bit more, and that should be okay. And so now that I'm seeing the sim, I don't like the contour that I actually use, so I'm going to get rid of that. And again, I always go back and forth between what I'm looking for and what I'm not looking for. And for the teeth, her teeth are fine. And oh yeah, the teeth that I use, I can't remember what the custom content creator is called, but I use their eyes. I think it's probably Picky Pikachu off of their Blogspot website. I'm not really sure what they're called, but I use their 3D teeth, and they're pretty cool. They're my favorite. Okay, cool. And so after I do all that necessary stuff, is I go into my makeup, because I always go into makeup before I choose like the hair and everything else, because I want to see what the makeup looks like on the Sim's face before I choose like the hair color or the style of the hair that I use. And so I always go into my face paint, because that's where the majority of my custom eyes are from, or my extra skin details that I use, like my freckles, my eyes, my eye mask, sorts of other fun things as well. But the eyes that I technically use is by Nightcrawler the most, and they're kind of my favorite. I don't know why, but they're pretty cool, and they are pretty neat. But I've definitely been using a lot of more of I don't know how to pronounce the name. Like it's like Remusterin. I have no idea how to pronounce the name, but I technically use their eyes. Their eyes are just kind of my favorite at the moment. They're just technically really good at what they do, and I've been using their custom content for a while. Let's be real here, they're pretty cool. And I always stick with like the brown theme with the eyes, and I always use Tifa if I'm looking for I don't know, I either use Tifa or SpringSims, and that's another custom content creator I use. I either use SpringSims, Remusterin, I don't think that's a word, or Remusterin, Pixelor, which is right here, Nightcrawler, or Praline Sims. Those people I technically use, or I use Miss Blue if I want to have heterochroma eyes for my sim. So Miss Blue has created like two different versions of heterochroma eyes, and that's pretty cool. They have a different unique sim, which I like the most. So yeah, they're pretty cool. And so I'm gonna use this one right here. They're my favorite. I'm gonna stick with them. They look awesome, great, awesome. And so for the eyeshadow that I always, pretty much the majority have used for the past couple of months, is I've been using this Naked palette by, oh, I cannot read that name, that's too small. But I use this Naked palette, and it's a little bit more subtle, a little bit more, I guess you would say, what's it called? Not contours, more natural looking, I guess you would say. I don't know anything about makeup whatsoever. Like, if you like talk to me about makeup in real life, I don't know what that stuff is. Like, makeup in real life, I have no clue. But in The Sims, I know all about it because I know what makeup to use on a sim, or like stuff like I just know makeup in The Sims. Makeup in real life, have no clue. Sims, know a lot. Real life, nothing. But moving right along, for the eyeshadow, the eyeshadow I use the Naked palette one. For the eyeliner that I use is, the majority is, I think it's Grim Cookie. They don't have their name to their custom content. So when I'm looking for custom content, I always look for if they have like their name in their custom content thumbnail, because I want to give proper credit to that sim content creator for them for making that stuff. But I think it's by Grim Cookie, so yeah, I believe it is. But it will be linked down below for sure. But that's the eyeliner that I use the most, and it's pretty cool. And then for the blush that I use is by Miss Blue, and I don't know why I always use this, but I always use the more pinker tone. It's it's in the middle of between these two right here, but I technically use this one or a peacher tone to make them a little bit more natural, I guess you would say. But then I also use X Mirror Mirror's highlight kit as well to make the sim a little bit more highlight, to give them the face more of a glow up, as the young kids say, a glow up, to make them look more perfectionist, or perfection, I guess you would say. But yeah, I definitely use that one the most, and I tend to go through down the list of what I'm looking for. It all depends on the skin tone or the sim, or again what I'm technically looking for. And then for the lips that I tend to use is sometimes I use the base game lips. It depends. Like, okay, wait a minute. The lipstick looks actually pretty good. I might not even use it. You know what? Okay, like I said, it depends on what sim that I'm making. It all depends. Like, I either use the base game lipstick, or like the get together lipstick, or either the get together, get to work, vampire game pack, or luxury party pack. I technically use more of like the EA base lipstick colors, but I always sometimes use this one lipstick by Nessie off of Tumblr. I don't think they're all like around anymore, but I technically use the Nessie lipstick off in here. And or either I use the Aurora Moon to give show the teeth between the lips. And I use a lot of lipstick in The Sims, and it's a problem. And I have a collection of lipstick in The Sims. Like, if you saw my lipstick collect, like, if you can see it now, but if you saw the stuff I did not show in this, and let's just say I have a lot more makeup in The Sims. It's a problem. Wow, but I use a lot of makeup in The Sims to make my Sims the way I want them to look. And like before I started using like Skin Kilta, can't pronounce the name, but I have a list, and that's why my voice sounds a lot more weird when I pronounce my S's and other things as well. But that's just me. And so back on track. The lipstick that I use is either by Nessie right here, or I use the base game lipstick right here, or I either use Cat lipstick as well. I use a lot of lipstick, okay? But for the sake of this tutorial, I use the Cat lipstick, which is the red one. How to be a boss, Superwoman lipstick. I like that the most. It looks pretty neat. I like it. It looks pretty nice. She's my favorite. Superwoman's my, like, Lily Singh is like the all-time fashionista YouTuber. But anyway, so yeah, this is what I use for my Sims. I think she looks great. She looks awesome. And so after I do all of that makeup, the customization of the face, I go back to the eyebrows, because sometimes I have the right makeup but not the right eyebrows that I'm looking for. And so I go back to that section and I either go between like the alpha ones, or I either go between like, okay, wait a minute, I like this. Okay, see now, see when I see something that I like, I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks so great. I love it. So I technically use this one the most, but I always use the Maxis Match eyebrows the most, and the more of the blacker tone, because it looks nice. Like, doesn't that sim look pretty great? I think she does. And so after I do all of that, I go to the accessories, because that's where I have more of my piercings, my headbands, my earrings, and sorts of other fun stuff as well, to give my sim more of a different look. And so I want to give her a nose ring, and if she looks great in a nose ring on the left, and the nose ring the piercings that I use is from SpringSims, and I like SpringSims the most because they make houses, they make makeup, they make clothing, they make eyes, they make accessories, they make a lot of things. And I think SpringSims' sister actually makes custom content for Build and Buy, and that is so freaking phenomenal. It's like, those two people are amazing, so I would definitely recommend checking them out. So since this is actually on the left side of her nose, I can always put another one on the right side of her nose too, to give, you know, left and right. Just saying, I could do both if I wanted to, but I don't want to do that. But I'm gonna give her this one on the right and then this one on the left, but I'm gonna change the color to gold and this one to gold as well, because I think it looks cool. So after I do all that, I can go over to the earrings, and since like these piercings are not in like the earrings, glasses, or necklace category, they are in their own section. And so you can like literally layer these on your sim and still use like the earrings, the glasses, and the necklaces if you wanted to. And so after that, I do all that. I want to choose like earring set on the left by SpringSims in more of a gold tone, because gold goes with everything. But I've been recently using a lot more of different type of styles by Cinema Sims off of their Tumblr. I think that's what they are called, off of Tumblr. But I usually like the gold aspect because I have a gold fetish right now. I'm going through a gold phase, as you can probably not tell, but I like gold. But I've been really using like these flower earrings by BY2OL. I think they're off of Tumblr, so you can check them out there too. But I like those the most. They're my favorite. And for the glasses, I have been dying not personally, I've been dying, like, I love these glasses a lot. I love SpringSims glasses so much. They are freaking so cool. Like, I honestly love using their glasses a lot, and so I use their glasses the most, and they're pretty high quality and very, very good. And like I said before, in the skin details over in like in the face section, Kinjoko actually can provide you to either the skin details or the glasses, or both sections if you want both. And I chose both, and I just wanted to have both just for the sake of me, and that's just who I am, and that's just what I kind of wanted to do. So again, I can choose more of a fuller look if I wanted to, more eyelashes, or demi-wispies, if those little small thin non-seeable eyelashes. I don't know what demi-wispies are in real life though, but that's what they're there for. More eyelashes, more fuller eyelashes if you wanted to. But I'm going to choose these glasses right here. They're my favorite. They're pretty cool. And what I also like is that they have a tint to them. They're pretty neat. And I think, which ones are they? I think they are these. Yeah. These are the ones that I actually like the most, because they have different styles to them, and they just look so freaking cool. Ugh, they're so freaking perfect. I just want to marry SpringSims. So that's me. And so as you can see, like, her glasses are kind of intertwined with her hair, but that's gonna change in a bit. But yeah, that's what I kind of do. But let's see, I don't know. I'm gonna choose these glasses because they fit more to her ear, but then I take them off because I don't like glasses as much, and so I don't wear glasses. I don't wear glasses at all. So for her necklaces, I technically either, you can see I have a lot of, you know, K-pop necklaces here. The Suga, the Army Squad, the J-Hope, the Jimin, BTS, yeah, BTS group, the K-pop group. Yeah, they're K-pop. I know who they are. They're pretty cool. They're a pretty cool K-pop group. I listen to K-pop a lot, and it's a problem. That's another thing about me. K-pop is my life. Okay, so again, so I use a lot of like more of a stylized look. If it depends, like again, it depends on the sim that I'm making. If I want to make like a fashionista sim, a famous sim, a poor sim, it all depends on what type of necklace and type of style that I'm looking for. And so for this sim, I have in mind is I want to choose more of the short look necklaces. I kind of like that necklace, but I do want to give her more of this one right here. And Jadard, okay, that's new, that's real new. But I want to give her this like Praline Sims necklace though. I like this, I like Praline Sims. Praline Sims is like my all-time favorite custom content creator that I use on the day, like literally all the time. I use Praline Sims the most. And so after I do all of that area, I kind of go back into the skin, push out her cheeks a little bit more, and so she looks great. I like her. She looks awesome. And so after I do all that, I go to the hair. Finally, the hair. I go out of order. I go out of order throughout every section. And so that's what I definitely do. And so once I pick a hair that I like, which I can't find because I don't have enough hair in my game to really choose what I'm looking for. But the one hair that I've been recently using a lot is this one right here, but not in that color though. More of the black tone color, but I do like that one too. And if I want to go alpha, I go with alpha, which is by Addy. I'm gonna call it Addy or Anto. Anto is another custom content creator that I actually use too if I want to go more of the alpha look, or Addy. But then I also go over to the Max's Match era, and I just kind of see what I like, and I just play around with different type of hairstyles. And if I don't see what I like, I go custom content shopping, and I go over to SS Vitlins or Lana CC Finds, which is the same person, but you know, Lana CC Finds is a very well-known custom content place go to find custom content on the whim. And so that's another place I go to. And I also go to little Simsies CC Finds blog as well. So that's for my Max's Match fetish as well. That's a weird, okay, I don't know why I just said that. Why did I say fetish? No, that's gross. I am not Selena Gomez who sings fetish for my love. But no, I just kind of go back and forth between hairstyles. And so I technically want to see edges. Honestly, I kind of like the sim the most. It's the hairstyle looks great, the dreads look nice too, but yeah, I don't know, I just gonna go back and forth. But it's just basically me creating a sim and how I make my sims and what stuff I use and how I do. Oh wait, hold up, wait a minute, this sim with the black edges, oh my gosh, wait, yeah, the sim looks great with this hair. I kind of like it, but the one thing I don't like about alpha is that it's hard to make a thumbnail with alpha hair, because it's like you see like hair is like being loose and everything. It's very hard to make a thumbnail with alpha hair. So I technically use Max's Match for thumbnails more because it's easier to make the thumbnail a bit more easier, more aesthetically pleasing, if that makes any sense. So I tend to stick with Max's Match the most. And so after I make the hair that I chose, the hair that I want, I go over to the accessories and I choose a hat that I want. And this one is by Nolan Sims, and I adore this hat the most. It's my all-time favorite because fall is a freaking thing right now. But I usually use a base game hat too. You know, a newsy girl, a news girl, or let's see, where else? What hat do I also use too? I use a lot of hats in my game. And I either use this one by Toxic. Yeah, Toxic is another one, custom content creator that I use on the whim as well for hats, makeup, hair, a lot of other things as well. You've probably seen them before. And so I'm going to stick with the Nolan Sims hat. I'm going to stick with the red one because it looks, you know, the red hat, the red lipstick. And so I kind of go in, I kind of, whenever I'm like making a sim, I have to think, like I have to think as I go, because, well, you know, again, red hat, red lipstick, yellow flower, green flower right here, it kind of matches. And so I kind of think ahead on how I want to make the thumbnail to look, and so that's what I kind of go with the colors, the style of the thumbnail. And so I kind of play off of that with the makeup, the hat, and the clothing overall. And so after I do all like the face structure and everything, I play around with her body. And that just sounds weird. I just playing around with people's bodies. That's just wrong. But I don't know. I feel like everyone's perfect in their own natural way. Size doesn't matter. It's just, that's just what I do. I just play around with their body to see what I like, and that's just what I do. And so I might stick with the red theme here, with, you know, the redness of the sim. And I really like red. And so the red looks pretty good. What? The sim. See, for me, I cannot record a proper tutorial, but I cannot record a proper tutorial without me freaking out every single second. Like, I see a sim that looks so freaking cool, I just have to freak out. It's like my favorite thing to do, freaking out on the whim. So, and so I've been recently like editing my photos to post on Instagram and like make like a fashion type of Instagram type of thing. So that's what I might try to do. Like, so I will probably end up making an Instagram just for sim fashion. Ooh, that's a problem. But yeah, and when you're ever like downloading custom content, you always have to remember to download the mesh, because if you don't download the mesh, bad things can happen where your sim loses, you know, the entire top of their body, their whole bottom part of their body. They have no feet. Things can just happen. Yeah, things happen when you don't download the mesh right. It just gets ugly. Okay, it just gets ugly. I'm losing my voice. But like I said, this is a pretty great thing to like kind of go off of. Always read the description of downloading custom content. Like I said, it's a thing that you have to do. And so when I choose a clothing item, I'm gonna go back to the top part where I have this top right here. Pretty great, pretty nice. And after I choose like the top that I want, I either choose a bottom, like this like pair of leggings right here. It looks pretty great. I think the leggings look great. But as I can see here, it clips through the top. And so I choose a darker tone, like maybe this one right here. It hurts my eyes a little bit because it's too much. But I tend to use like this one right here. You can kind of see it, but you can't see it at most. So I tend to go back and forth between what I'm looking for. So where's that skirt that I always use? It's a skirt thing. It's this one right here. It's an alpha type skirt. Yeah, alpha type skirt. What are words? Literally, what are words? So let's see. I don't like that skirt at all. I like these pants though. The pants look nice. I like that. But after I figure out what I'm looking for, it's like, again, I go back and forth between every single outfit, and that's why my creative sims are always sped up to, yeah, that's a big no. So I can see that I like these pants a lot, and they kind of fit with like the whole entire outfit, the most part of it, and then kind of like the black and white. It kind of makes sense to me, and I kind of like it. So I wanted to go and choose the accessories, but since you cannot see her like her wrist or anything, I can't choose like a bracelet, or I can't choose like some type of bionic arm. Oh, well, I actually can, but it kind of clips through the entire outfit and it doesn't look right. But what I can actually use is this right here to cover up like the cleavage part. It's mostly for a cleavage mask, so we can like hide the cleavage. Don't want to see that. Copyright. That's the thing. But like I said, that's another thing you can actually do as well. And so, and with this, was Kenjoto's Kenjoto's eyelashes for the skin details, what actually happens is if you choose like a, you know, set of nails, like I'm about to do right now. If you choose like a set of nails right here, let me just find right here. Let's see, these right here. What happens is like I chose those nails, and with Kenjoto, the eyelashes kind of have like a green look to it. Doesn't look right. So what I use, if I do that, I always use Sim Laugh Love nails off their Tumblr, and they're pretty great, and I kind of like them because they don't interfere with the eyelashes that I'm going to use. And so that's what I use for that. And then for the leggings, I use either Crazy Cupcake or Simmer Everly's what's it called, tights. Those are words. And so that's what I kind of use on there. And then for the shoes, I kind of play off on what shoes I'm kind of looking for. But for the sake of this one, I'm going to use, I have no idea who made these pair of shoes, but my all-time favorite custom content creator for shoes is MJ95. MJ95 is like the custom content creator to make shoes. I use them all the time. But I'm going to actually choose these red shoes and take off the tights because they are kind of interfering with that. And I'm going to choose those because I think the whole outfit looks pretty great. I think I've chosen the right colors, the red theme and the white, and the whole black and white theme just makes sense to me and I kind of like it. And so since this right here is clipping through, what I'll end up doing is that I will like layer some other stuff on top of this. I will do my Photoshop magic in part 3. So anyway, I think what I have already set in this video is all good, and I think this is pretty great. I like this. This tutorial has gone so well. Even though me freaking out every 5 minutes is pretty great, I think I did an awesome job making the sim. See, yeah, that's the problem. Take that off. And so yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, what's going with her nose ring? Her nose ring has a problem. Let's take off the what's it called? Take off these right here. Let's see what that now. Yep. So the other thing about the nails is that it sometimes can interfere with the accessories, and that's another problem as well, which I don't like the most because I want to use my nails properly. Okay. And so I think what I'll do is not use I'll use some nails because that's what I want to do, and I like having nails on my Sims because they have no nails whatsoever. So let's get rid of those right there and get right there. And since that has a problem, what I'll do is I'll end up taking off that nose ring because it doesn't look right, and I might change it to a different color to make it all black because it doesn't work that way and doesn't work that way either. So I'll just end up taking it off completely and it's all good in the hood. And so I think that's pretty great. Yeah. The sim looks great. Awesome sauce. And that's pretty much it. So that's how I pretty much make my sim from start to finish and what stuff I use, and as well as that's what I just do. And after I do all of that, I choose the random walk style or the traits or just whatever I kind of looking for, and so that's what I do, and I think that's okay. But like I said, hope you guys actually had some fun watching this tutorial. I hope you had some fun, learned some stuff, and will apply to your own Sims. And yeah, so I hope you guys so much enjoyed this tutorial as much as I did. Let me think down in the comments below as always, and I will see you guys all in the very next video. Bye!